you are joining with not just a vote. It's about the business, value addition, value creation, next level of transformation. Leaders have a dual challenge. One challenge is getting you 1 year with the data. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get the other ear on the ground. So see what customers say, what are the realities. Chief guest, the President, the Governing Council members, the fellow judges, the distinguished invitees, the CEO and the staff of CPM. It's time for me to take you through this process, promoting best management practices in Sri Lanka. So well, in that light, to get you into the context, so what we are trying to do here. So in that sense, rather than just giving a narration of our best management practices story, so may I put that into a bit of a couple of slides for us to easily understand. It's what we want to achieve. Each one of you want to achieve something, strategic, long-term direction of your organization. So if you look at in whatever the form, it's about your strategic direction in your organization. That can be long-term. At the same time, it can come in different words like corporate vitality. You want to achieve your world-class business performance. You want to achieve that business success, you name it. Excellence, transformation, greatness. So you may call it as organizational stability, growth, or you may call it as market position, your sustainability. So with that intent in mind, all the organizations are looking forward to this success year on year. So in that light, what is the challenge? Challenge is what the chief guest said, that is what we see. So that is coming, the value drivers. So what is this value drivers? So ladies and gentlemen, it's all about the customer there in the out. So that's the forefront, that's the spotlight. So customers keep on asking different demands so that who can create this value, the more gains, less pains. Who can create this proposition? So in your industry, irrespective of the nature of the industry, whether it's a sector or a cluster, it's all about like how to get this distinct thinking to respond to that scenario. So that is what Chief Guest also trying to highlight. With that intent in mind, one might come out with a single pillar approach, like, okay, let's focus on this area, let's do this. Might be 2 pillars. It can be 3 pillars or more pillars. So that is coming, the key aspects, the drivers. So do we have that enabling environment that can come in multiple forms? It can be your environmental sustainability governance, the people, the society, the societal aspects and the environmental aspects, the governance, responsibility. So last year, Chief Guest was particularly highlighted. If the governance is not there as enabler, I think those organizations are not in a position to do their business. Sector, industry, value creation, each industry has its uniqueness, contribution to the country's development, looking at quality, productivity, the enabling digital transformations. So with that, now the aspect is what? Each company saw year on year, based on 2025 to backwards, they are looking at different levels, strategic level, business level, operational level. So that is always supported by, so you may see that different functions in an organization. If you look at the key architect, so ladies and gentlemen, what you see here now, if you pause for a while before our next growth, you can see the total architect. In fact, for your easy reference, we have made it available there. Probably after the event, you can scan the QR code and see, or otherwise you may take a photograph and have a look at. So what we are trying to bring into this collage, into a interconnected picture is that with that great achievements the companies are looking year on year, in line with your respective market response, with the enabling environment, are we ready with those strategic business operational level articulation into the forefront? So what is this best management practices is all about? Selecting those stories, bring it to the forefront, sharing with the industry. So like we as a national body for management, we have a responsibility to nurture this. That is our responsibility. That is our intent. So that's what we are doing. So therefore, you are joining with not just a vote. It's about the business, value addition, value creation, next level of transformation. In that journey, we have to have a game plan. So the MC also mentioned that this technical overview, even though I'm not going to that detail, we have sectors, we have clusters. So when it comes to the sectors, so that is where the different industries represent. And they would submit their initial document and compliance. So you can see that 170 plus, but 151 only eligible. Why? So I think 23 plus, the rejected. Main reason is they are not compliant and not in line. So that in the process of submission of your initial document, with that has been further looked at with the presentation. And out of that, you may see that the 40 outstanding companies emerge. So 25 coming from the sector side, 15 coming from the cluster side. So there's a major traffic is happening in the cluster side because the response of the companies with regard to their stories in those aspects are emerging a lot. Probably this should be a little bit fine-tuned to next level of, it's an indication of probably we have to consider about this 25 each type of a scenario. But having said that, for the moment, if you look at that, out of them, we always need to recognize top, best of the best. So that is where we have a special, another, may I say, jury, sat down, we invited them to come to a particular position, place and present their story. So they got an opportunity to ask further detailed down questions. And with that marks, so the top 10 are recognized. But we are looking at in these top excellence areas, particularly those leaders who are enabling this are also recognized. So at the same time, this end of the day, awards point of view, sentimental celebrations point of view, you are going to witness those gold, silver, bronze, and so on. So here, a couple of key takeaways. If I take you back to the memory lane of last year, I bring this, the strategy quote from one of the great military strategic thinkers, Sun Tzu. When it comes to looking at not the goal and objective, but the strategy and tactics, I said very clearly, look, that statement, if I quote, if someone is having a strategy without tactics, what could be the answer? The slowest route to the victory. But if someone is having the tactics only, without strategy, without supporting strategy, what is the scenario? That's the noise before defeat. I'm sure even at the international level, we have seen that a lot of tactical moves, a lot of noise, but defeat is imminent. While having that into the perspective, like in line with this discussion, from our introduction to up to today, we want to highlight, ladies and gentlemen, we took you back to 1982 in search of excellence of Robert Waterman and Tom Peters' thinking of 1980s. 1994, we looked at Build to Last, Jim Collins' great concepts, great articulation in that context. We took you into the 2001 with the Good to Great, again Jim Collins' great concepts. And in addition to that, 2005 and 18, the wisdom companies of Nonaka and Takuchi from Japanese context, the wisdom company thinkers of that era. So we are in now 2026. So when you are looking forward to the upcoming years, each year, may I say that we have a phenomenal challenge of this articulation, making a choice, taking those decisions. So in that sense, if I come into a couple of key highlights during our judging process on behalf of our panel of judges, may I say that leaders have a dual challenge. One challenge is getting your 1 year with the data. Get those numbers intact, get those statistics correct, look at what's going on, what the data says. So that is one side. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get the other ear on the ground. So see what customers say, what are the realities. But here, more than the customers, there's another aspect. I should tell on behalf of the panel of judges, each company has a unique story. It's not about someone is winning, someone is losing. Not about ranking. Here there's no ranking. The top 40, whether you are a merit or whether you are a cluster sector award winner, the best of the best. That's not the story here. The story is that I think sometimes the company story is not well articulated by assigned members in the organization. And they have a story, but they are not putting into the perspective. So judges can't understand what they're trying to say. I think that's what I want to tell, that one of the key takeaways in this process. So therefore, may I say that the way forward, long run, I think Mr. Sam also enjoyed yesterday those 10 top stories. We won't have many stories, Mr. Sam. So this country requires many such best management practices. So may I take, while thanking everyone, so here, CPM's task is to promoting best management practices in Sri Lanka. Time to come, that will be the spotlight. Thank you very much. Enjoy the evening.